Hour before ESPN, because we had some inside sources at the New York Times. Shout out to Big Brandon BC Combs there. BC merch is giving away tonight. Use hashtag BC in the comments and to get entered in the raffle. But with that being said, Wyatt, we've heard that he used racial slurs, aka called a guy had big lips, said he had big lips. Apparently that's racially motivated, but we digress on that. And then he used sexual orientation words, calling people by the wrong names and etc. to that effect. But the biggest thing that has recently come out, and you know what? I seen Luke G just pop up here on the screen as well. So let's welcome Luke G onto the show and invite him into this conversation. But Wyatt, I'm going to ask you this first. I recently just got a notification saying that Jon Gruden has topless pictures of the cheerleaders from the Washington football team.
Yeah,
and
he forwarded those.
Yeah,
it's only getting worse.
And that is why basically he had to resign. So I have a poll going over here at youtube.com/manhour. Should have Jon Gruden quit his job? So why, after hearing this, and it is just getting deeper and deeper, 7 years of these racially motivated emails, topless pictures. Heck, it could be they could be sharing cocaine like at this point too. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. It was just, honestly, I was just surprised, hit out of left field, because just 2 days ago we were all talking about how they weren't even going to suspend him. This was just going to go under the rug. It was going to be okay. And then once they said that, because it was only one email, then 6 emails landed on Marcus Davis's desk. Yeah. That turned into 10, that turned into 15. That's now around 20 emails that have all surfaced of some stuff that, if you go through and read the content of the email, whether if the NFL is trying to move away from, racism and other things, whether if they're trying to move away from it or not, this is someone that you probably shouldn't put yourself around, as a person, because some of the stuff that was said is not the greatest. Some of the stuff that we're kind of seeing today, especially, as it really surfaces. I'm not going to explain some of the details. If you want to look it up, that's good for you. But yeah, I mean, especially in a league, whether if whatever political stance you stand on this, because I'm sure there's going to be two sides, as there is to everything. No matter where you stand on this, the NFL is doing everything they can to move away from the words, or from the word of racism and all that. So that, it's on the helmets, it's on the end zones, it's everywhere, it's in commercials. So you had to kind of know, once this happened, that no matter what, whether if there was one email or if there was 20, no matter what, you kind of have to know that it's over. I mean, it's coming. So this was just something that Jon Gruden was able to run away from for a long time, and it finally caught him. It's something that, when you ultimately look back on it, he shouldn't have said anything. He shouldn't have said anything that he said. Some of the stuff he said was just horrible. But, on top of the fact that you shouldn't say it, in today's society where, the term racism is so heavily looked at, any kind of issue you have, it's over. And that's the thing with Jon. Like I said, he spent years kind of running away from this, and I think that it just kind of caught up to him yesterday. Is basically what happened.
So Luke G, first things first, guys, give a big shout out to Luke G. Head over to Luke G's field review at YouTube. Be sure to give him some love. Hit that subscribe button and like button for it, because he does Detroit Lions talk, which, Luke G, will talk about your Detroit Lions moving forward here. But what are your thoughts on this whole Jon Gruden thing? I'm kind of throwing you into in the fire. We didn't have the time to prep or anything, but what are your first raw reactions of this, hearing this?
I'm a Lions fan. I love the Lions. I think the Lions are dope. I rock with the Lions, but I'm also a fan of the Buccaneers, and I'm a fan of the Seahawks, and I've been that way since I was a kid. And so when Jon Gruden won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, my first thoughts was, how convenient was it for him to do that with Tony Dungy's team against a team that he was traded from, that he knew all the plays. Oh, it took so much preparation for that game. God, right? They knew all the calls. They knew everything, every formation. So when I saw that, I said, And ever since that Super Bowl, he was hot garbage. He was never good, and he did a number of different things that people thought were funny and comical, and just out there. When I heard about these emails, the first thing that I thought about was, why do people think things are private when you send it across the web? Like,
Yeah.
you can't even have private phone conversations anymore. Why do
Right.
something that's going to be in ink, that's going to be stuck on a digital signature for your life? So for me, when I see all these things coming out and now he has to deal with the backlash, to me, it doesn't matter, because guess what's going to happen? In about 2 or 3 years, he's going to have a job back in the broadcasting booth. Richie Incognito is still playing in the NFL. He has made a number of disparaging racial comments and strange things. Bill Romanowski was another one. And this has been the nature of the NFL as a whole. This is what they do. Instead of it being something that should not be in the sport, it's being concealed. And when it gets concealed, it's a problem. Back in the day, football players beat the brakes off of their wives, and it was never talked about. But now, when people say it's enough, they want to get involved and talk about it. And so for me, this is much of the same that I have always seen and experienced personally myself with different double standards that go opposite of people for color. It is what it is. He's still going to have a way to profit at the end of the day, and there's no real consequence to him. He has no real suffer. He has no real cancel culture. He already apologized. He's going to apologize again, and he'll be given another opportunity.